approach these subjects with empathy and understanding. These issues often intertwine with societal norms and can lead to tough conversations. It is important to create a safe space for dialogue where individuals can share their experiences without fear or judgment. I am Jumai Manson. Join me every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the program Inside Today on Global Television. Matchmaking, a practice with both positive and negative aspects, can be particularly beneficial for individuals who find themselves too occupied with career and other commitments to actively seek a partner. The most effective approach may involve leveraging the network of friends, family, and relatives to find that suitable partner. Today, we will delve into the world of matchmaking and its continued relevance. I am Jumai Manson, and I'm being joined via Zoom from Cape Town, South Africa, is Dr. Nini Ola Fafore. She is an advisory board member of Women in Technology in Nigeria. We'll explore whether matchmaking still works in the modern era. Stay tuned as the program continues shortly. You are welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, is Inside Today on Global Television. And like I mentioned, we're looking at matchmaking. If the practice is still recognized, or it still happens right here in Nigeria or around the world, it depends. And like I mentioned before, I am being joined by a very good friend of mine, Dr. Niniola Fafore. She is an advisory board member of Women in Technology in Nigeria, but she's all the way in South Africa, Cape Town at the moment, and she'll be joining via Zoom. Hi, Dr. Nini, how are you? Hello, Dr. Nini Ola. All right, you know what? Talking about this very, will I call it a very funny topic when it comes to matchmaking for many individuals out there who are very, very busy when it comes to career, when it comes to their business. No time for, will I say, relationship of seeking or looking for that particular partner. Now, I want to be looking at how effective matchmaking can be or has been for a while. And like I mentioned, Dr. Niola and I will be delving into this very sensitive topic because I've heard a lot of stories when it comes to matchmaking. Dr. Niola, are you here now? All right, before Dr. Niola comes in, I've heard so many people have mentioned and they have said, well, I have been match made. There's this matchmaking process that went ahead. You know, my sister and I brought someone that I'm married to at the moment. But remember, at the point, we thought we were compatible, but over the years, we realized that we're not compatible at all. Maybe because I've been very busy when it comes to my career and all of that. Many people have a lot to say when it comes to issues of matchmaking. Some have had it very smooth, but some very, very rough. And you just wonder whether this practice should be abolished completely, whether individuals should go out and find themselves the partner that suits their bio. Well, some will tell you, Chumai, there is no time for that. I have too many things on my plate when it comes to traveling, when it comes to the career. It's just the pressure of parents, it's just the pressure of friends, it's just the pressure of age when it comes to finding that partner. And matchmaking for me is just the best resort. And some will tell you that is why I prefer to marry at a very late age when it comes to the age gap, because there is no time. I'll prefer to just wait and let's see what happens from there. Let's quickly go on a quick break. The program continues shortly. Stay tuned. That human angle topic on family, marriage, peer pressure, drug and substance abuse, societal issues, women and children, and so much more. Now, it's crucial to approach these subjects with empathy and understanding. These issues often intertwine with societal norms and can lead to tough conversations. It is important to create a safe space for dialogue where individuals can share their experiences without fear or judgment. I am Jumai Manson. Join me every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the program Inside Today on Global Television. That human angle topic on family, marriage, peer pressure, drug and substance abuse, societal issues, women and children, and so much more. Now, it's crucial to approach these subjects with empathy and understanding. These issues often intertwine with societal norms and can lead to tough conversations. It is important to create a safe space for dialogue where individuals can share their experiences without fear or judgment. I am Jumai Manson. Join me every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the program Inside Today on Global Television. All right, you are welcome back. And if you're just tuning in, this is Inside Today on Global Television. And I'm talking about matchmaking and the relevance, of course, when it comes to matchmaking in our society. And like I mentioned, I am not doing it alone. I have a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, all the way from South Africa, Cape Town, Dr. Niniola Fafore. She is an advisory board member of Women in Technology in Nigeria, Winton. Hi, Dr. Nini. How are you? Hello, Dr. Niniola. All right. Like I mentioned before, it's very important that we understand that sometimes we just wonder when it comes to relationships and all of that. And people just wonder and say to themselves, oh my goodness, why is it that it's very important to matchmake and all of that? And people just say, sometimes it's the step in the right directions for individual. And like I mentioned before, I am being joined by Dr. Niniola. Hi, Dr. Niniola. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. All right, Dr. Niniola, what are the historical origins, will I say, when it comes to matchmaking? Individuals have had different perspective from, oh, this is the right decision, this is the wrong decision. How do you think that balance can just give that perfect outlook when it comes to relationships?
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry about the earlier delays. Well, the truth is, matchmaking has become something that is very critical in this age and time because of the very busy life that major people, a lot of us are actually engaged in right now because of our jobs, because of our distance, relationship, because of quite a number of things that we have to meet up in life. So the time to be able to meet people randomly limited. So one of the things that is currently going on right now in different methods is matchmaking. And I think matchmaking is something that has been going on for a long time in different parts of the world. So it's not new, but somehow we abandoned it. But now it is something that has become a regular thing. You don't even have a choice because sometimes you don't want to date someone in your industry for one reason or the other. So you need to find someone, but you don't have time. or you are far away from your parents, working and putting, food on table. So you have to be able, parents have to come in sometimes to help you fill the gap. Sometimes you have friends who've been married for a long time and they see that you're single. So they have to, bring a word of recommendation to you through their other friends and families. So these things happen. A lot of parents do that. Even mothers, as far as traveling out of the country, they might meet a young man and they'll tell them, when I come to Nigeria, I have daughters. I've seen that happen in my presence. So this is critical, really, in order to be able to fill in the gap. Otherwise, there'll be problem.
But let me ask a question, Dr. Niniola. Sometimes does this practice still work? Like I have friends who have been match made and they tell you the first year, second year, third year, fine. But at the fourth, fifth, sixth year, it becomes a serious problem. Do you think this practice can still stand the test of time?
Well, the truth is, it is still going to be ongoing, but it's just going to be modified. Right now they do online dating. They will tell you there's what we call, how do I put it, traditional one, which is still ongoing. There's the one they call mouth to mouth, like word to word. So it's not going to die, but it will be evolving into different method as time goes, because everything is evolving. So there'll always be a method that will be used to come up with another name. In fact, I heard there's one we call the online gaming dating, right? Because they're always spending time, online gaming. So then it has evolved to that. So the truth is that it's not going to die, but it will evolve into another thing.
Now, let's look at our cultural values and expectations. How does it influence the dynamics of matchmaking? Like you said something very critical. You said sometimes it could be because I'm too busy. I'm a career woman and he's a career man. And then word of mouth when it comes to parents, relatives doing the matchmaking. How the expectation? How does it influence these dynamics of matchmaking?
Well, the truth is that sometimes we have to be sincere when we're looking out for something. Every method has its advantages and disadvantages.
Yes, it does.
Nothing is like a freeway and there's no problem. Even the people that you dated or you got married to, you're still going to experience some challenges, right? So you cannot run away from that. I think two parties have to be very what they want. And your family might be in the best position to understand that, okay, my sister's daughter, I know her very well. This is what she wants. She might have a different opinion, different from her mother. The mother is just concerned about getting married. But because she's closer to the auntie understands her and says, you know what, I think I know a young man that fits into this. So because of the sincerity, parents might be a bit biased, really. They do that a lot, right? So we should expect that might happen. But they will still push you and say, just manage this marriage. You understand? No relationship is easy. You have to be able to be sure that, okay, this is a list of what I'm looking for. I've found about 60 or 70. I think that's a good way to go. Then you guys can now actually see how to merge it together. But the first thing I tell people, you need to be open-minded about it. What are the things you can tolerate? What are the things you cannot tolerate, right? Because even when we live with our brothers and sisters, we still fight them. At some point, we disagree with our parents.
Yes, we do.
So that disagreement will always, so it will always come in later. So I think that whichever method of matchmaking that we are adopting, both parties have to be sincere about what they are looking for, because nobody's going to live with you. Yeah. So, and at the end of the day, it's your life, really. And you have to live the best of it, really. And it's a beautiful thing when partners have agreed to say, you know what, we ride and die together, right? This is what I've been looking for. And that's it. Just sincerity is the first thing. Because when you do online, you can lie about it, because you are looking for some kind of profile of a man or a woman in a particular field, right? And you say, okay, this is what I am, but you are not what he wants, or you're not what she wants, right? So after meeting you once or twice, of course, for them to be in that profile, they are very intelligent. right? You might deceive them for a while, but over time, the truth will come to surface.
Definitely.
So I think, yeah, so it's a beautiful thing to try. And I think Nigerians have to be open-minded, especially those in the 30s and 40s. They are very rigid. You understand? These younger people are open to things like this because that's the technology world they are used to. Right?
Dr. Niniola, we're going to come to the technology world. Now, I want to ask a question. In a circumstance whereby it's a matchmaking approach when it comes to family members trying to matchmake their son with a particular girl, and what if it's one-sided at a point? How do people actually wiggle around this without hurting the individuals who have taken out their time, the pain to actually matchmake these other individuals together?
Yes, you're very right, because this is a very serious situation.
And very sensitive.
Oh, yes, it is sensitive because the father has gone out of his way.
Yes, he
Or the
has.
father of the girl has gone out of his way as well. Maybe somehow they were joking about, they might be joking. Oh, I have a son who is working in Abuja. He's single, right?
Yes.
And there's no woman. And the man is like, I also have a daughter. And they're like, okay, let them meet each other. And the next thing, they are calling the boy or they are calling the girl. And probably she's a very private person or he's a private person. And it's like, I didn't say you should get me a girl. I was just joking. And it's like, joking, Ken. I already told my friend, though, and besides, we are from the same hometown.
Exactly.
At least if
we grew up together.
Yes. Yes. If she does anything, we can manage her. But you want to go and bring me one wife from another tribe. Now, this is it can be shameful at times. It can be very disrespectful, especially if it is the father of the man that went to impose that. And now the girl feels like they are taking advantage of her. Probably she's trying to call the guy and he's not picking up and he's not interested. It looks like these things can be very embarrassing sometimes. You feel like, I'm so cheap, or I don't know how to go about this thing myself. It's a very sensitive situation. But the truth is that it doesn't really matter. Yes, you just have to find a way around it. It depends on the guy, it depends on the woman. They can both eventually talk about it. At least I've seen someone do that, and he said he had to talk to her. Like, seriously, you're in London, I'm in Nigeria, Abuja. How do you expect us to have such a relationship? I don't want that, and I know I'm so sorry about this. And somehow I believe that they were able to manage that, really. But sometimes there are some things that they have also tried. So they've also tried it, and they thought it would work. By the time they started dating, one of them realized that, no, mom, this guy is not it at all. And then it now looks like you have used my daughter or you wasted my son's time and all that. But I think both couples have to know what they really want, because marriage is a lifetime thing. Although, yes, people can divorce when they want, but in pure context, marriage is supposed to be a long-term thing. It's supposed to be a companionship, a journey that you have no return of certificate. It's something that you are going to go through it together, not a life-threatening situation, not an abusive one, but something that should both be shared together and share both values. You know, sometimes the reason why people do have issues is because they do not have common values. They don't have the same beliefs about life or religion or expectations in life, or, you know, so many things, their backgrounds, everybody's background differs. So there's so many ways, like some traditional matchmaking, maybe because they want to retain the wealth within both families, right?
Yeah.
Or they want to, yes, for kingdom thing, like the daughter of the kingdom of this country wants to marry the son of the kingdom of another to maintain power, right? So we have seen cases like.
Yeah. Yes, we have. And then looking at this, it's very sensitive.
Love, and I told him.
Now, Dr. Niniola, let's talk about technology and the role of online dating.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's talk about technology now and online dating. Dr. Niniola,
Okay.
technology and online dating. How has it impacted matchmaking practices? Because you mentioned long distance, and technology has played a great role when it comes to bringing individuals together. You might not see physically, but at least You can see yourselves and you can talk, you can laugh as if the person is there with you. So how has that made matchmaking processes easy?
Okay, good. Well, from what I have seen happen around, or what I probably might have experienced in some long term relationship, is that one, the online technology has actually reduced the time of trying to source for your partner locally or outside your current country or state. Because if you know you want to marry a white person or you want to marry a black American or something, you obviously cannot find them where you live or whatever, but you can actually find them, through online technology. That technology has really helped to bridge the gap.
Yes, it
And I
has.
think if you see a lot on some of I've forgotten that guy's page. You see a lot on Instagram where you see women and men getting married to foreigners through online. Oh, they DM'd me 10 years ago or something,
Yeah.
and then the guy came looking for me. Beautiful stories. It's not that all of them were good, and it's not like all of them are bad.
Very
Just the
true.
way our traditional marriages, not all of them are good. So we can't condemn. I think people should just be open. How would you just want to stay in Nigeria all your life? Like how? Like you just marry only Nigerians. You understand? If you have the opportunity, just try something else.
Very true.
Seriously, let's mix it up,
Let's
right?
explore.
Because the truth. Yes, you explore if you have the opportunity. Just try. You understand? Because another thing about online is marriage is, yes, it's good to love, but you also have to be clear
Very
what
true.
you are looking for. Some people make it business kind of thing. Some would say it's a business transaction. I maybe she came from a poor home. She said, I don't want to marry a poor man. And that's the truth. I want to marry someone who is higher than me or who has more money or more dreams better than I do. So I think the whole marriage thing has to be very clear for people, because you need to know that when it comes to marriage, commitment is very important.
Very.
Continuity is very important. The efforts, you will disagree, you will agree. You will like to understand your partner. So and you can see all over the world. Whatever happens here now is already being posted in another country, like the same second, right? So nothing is holding anybody down. Nothing. Just go for it. So for those who are already in relationship or marriage, you see a lot of them who have been dating my husband for 2-3 years, and I have a colleague in my office. He is, while he's working, he has a camera in the house. He sees what the wife and the kids are doing, so that in case of any emergency, he can be able to assist them. And so he's working. So it doesn't really matter, right? Just know, I have a colleague too. He could, from his phone, he could check the satellite and see who and who is in the house. Like, you just have to know you have a partner that is open. Both of you agree. And okay, I'm going to be away for a couple of years, maybe because I need to make some money for us, and I can hide, and I can, and I've seen some people tell you, oh, my daughter doesn't recognize me anymore. I feel so sad. They just say, I don't miss you, daddy. And, over time, you're like, So, these things about family is a very critical institution. And we all know that was really doesn't like marriage. So he will destroy it at all costs. Because without marriage, there's no home. And without home, we can't have well-trained kids, to be able to, imbibe our culture, imbibe our tradition and all that. We can't let the tradition die also. They need to know how to speak our languages and that. So there's so much benefit. You know how beautiful it is. You exchange genetics and you're breeding I've seen a breed of Chinese and Nigerian. You need to see that baby. That baby looks so good, so chubby. The hair was beautiful. I'm like, what breed, right? You understand? So you can imagine you see how God works. It's so beautiful.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
So at the
people
same
should
time,
embrace
Dr.
it.
Niniola, at the same time, matchmaking is something that it can actually bring good values to individuals, exploring different cultures and trying to understand. But you said something very vital. Try and, as much as possible, to make it work. Try as much as possible to be open. Try as much as possible to be honest when it comes to this sort of arrangement, right?
True,
All right.
because it's for your good, really.
Exactly.
How do you want to start making up
And
lies to
family and
cover another
friends, they
lie.
just want the best for you, so that an
They
individual,
do.
either whether it could be the man or the woman, so they won't be alone. They just want that partner to make things work. All right, Dr.
Yeah.
Niniola, this is the size of the program Insight today. Thank you so much. I know we have different time zones, but thank you so much for making our time to be part of the program today. Have an amazing
Thank you.
vacation in South Africa.
Thank you very much. God bless
Thank you
you.
so much.
All right,
And of
madam.
course, Dr. Niniola, she is an advisory board member of Women in Technology in Nigeria, Winton. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. Now, she mentioned something very vital about matchmaking. She says, you should be open, you should be trustworthy, true to yourself, and most importantly, you both can try to make it work. Because, hey, for individuals to match make you, it means that they have you in mind and they care and love you as an individual. They do not want you to be alone. Now, have an amazing day. And if you're matchmaking at this point, or you were match made by your friend, try as much as possible, or family members, try as much as possible to make it work. It will work if you put your mind, your heart into it. Thank you all so much for being a part of Insight today. I am Jumai Manson. Have an amazing day ahead. Bye-bye.